What is up, everybody, and welcome into the Losers Lounge. Guys, haven't undertaken an ass whooping like that since Game 3 of last year's first round.
I don't think I've taken an ass whooping like that since I left my school in middle school to go to another school, which makes no sense. And then I had to deal with the consequences later.
Yeah, a lot of therapy. I say this was going to be a Nuggets therapy session, but it turns out it's an all-around therapy session.
A therapy session.
Very safe space, though, Dev. You're okay.
Why did I go to that school?
This was a tough one. I mean, Denver absolutely gets dominated. The score was 115-95, and it was nowhere near as close as that score might indicate, and that score does not indicate it was close at all. So we're going to have to break down, does this game mean anything? What went wrong? Is there anything about this game that points towards what we should expect in Game 5? We're going to go through all that, and we might even make up some excuses. None of them are fair. There's no
wrong
excuse,
with a couple of excuses.
Let's make up a few.
So ready.
This
is my style.
I've got like 30 excuses. I'm ready to fire.
This is the show I was born to be.
It's not our fault.
I'm
It's
so
not our
good
fault.
at excuses.
So we'll get into all that. But we're presented, as always, by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Download it. Use promo code DNVR. In addition to losing tonight, you got absolutely. I mean, when a game is a blowout, you get obliterated on your bets because nobody plays.
Yeah.
I was wondering how you guys did without me on the pregame show. I was like, hey, I wonder if those people.
That's what it was.
Anything.
Wow.
That's what I was thinking. I was just like, I wonder how did my guys did on the show.
I mean, when the Nuggets leading score has 16 points.
Well, I'll tell you what. There was a lot of no-shows tonight. There was Jokic, right? I thought there was Michael Porter. Yep. There was Dev Johnson at the pregame show. Just a complete no. We thought he was on. He no-showed. So everybody no-showed today. I got Harrison Wind over here.
I mean, this kind of felt like Game 3 against Utah. Was it Game 3 against Utah?
The difference between that one is Denver went down. No, it was Game 3. It was Game 3. It's Game 2 and 3. Denver just got Game 2. They got punked, but they rallied back. Game 3, they just got punked, and it was like
they got dehumanized.
They got dehumanized for sure.
That was the most mad I've ever been after a Nuggets game. Game 3 against Utah.
This one is up there though. Thankfully, it ties the series 2-2. But I got Eric over here.
I feel no emotions about this game.
You might just be dead inside.
I mean, those two are unrelated.
Like that House of Cattle Company.
Typically, well,
that's what he uses
I would say my emotions.
He perked right up when you mentioned it.
My emotions have been blocked. But I like. Who cares? This game, I
care.
I care.
I wish I could get on your level. I'll try.
It doesn't matter.
Get me on your level.
This game doesn't matter. What happened in this game doesn't matter. We didn't. If you're able to extrapolate long-term trends that we can put in this game that are meaningful and actually translate into other games, I will pay you $1 million. Anyone in the chat or you, Adam?
Ooh,
listen.
I could use a cool million.
Jokic could not have looked worse. He looked terrible. Jokic looked exhausted.
He wasn't Michael
Porter
Jordan.
Jr. looked exhausted. The team, they just weren't ready to play. They just weren't ready to play. And they got beat up by a team that was in pure desperation mode. For whatever reason, the Denver Nuggets require their backs to be against the wall to perform in a way that's takes them over the top. They've been fighting ever since Jamal went down, and they just took their foot off the gas. We kind of hinted at it in the pregame show. They did. They just took their foot off the gas. They weren't penetrating. They weren't playing with heart. It was just crumple the tape up, toss it out, dude.
Yeah. Still introducing the panel though. Superstar Dev over here.
Yeah, he started already.
He did. He went right in.
I'm sorry.
I mean, but since we're here, Eric does bring a good point. Backs against the wall. Last show, Adam, you said that the Nuggets were in a good spot because they go in with no pressure. They don't have to actually push to win a game. But I don't think that we were the only ones that heard that. I think that they also understood that this is a no pressure situation. And if the Nuggets have shown us anything over the last couple of years, it's they need that pressure. They thrive off of that pressure. And for them not to have it, I think they were just well, what do we do now?
Yeah. It's funny because, Denver has gone to 5 playoff series with this group. 4 of them have gone to Game 7. And this series certainly appears to be headed for 7 games. So you look at it and you just go, is there something about the Denver Nuggets? Is there something about the team, the roster, the coach, the style of play? Is there something that lends itself to them looking great some nights and then looking absolutely horrible when the stakes don't matter? Because I kind of think they're adrenaline junkies.
Yeah.
If you want my guess to that, I think it's more so the fact that every other game they're trying to they're trying to read what's happening to the other team instead of just coming out with their own game plan. A lot about Michael Malone is he's a counterpuncher. So he's waiting for you to make a move. Some of them are going to land, some of them are not. But after he gets knocked down, he's like, okay, now I know what to do so I don't get knocked down again. And now I'm going to try to knock you out. So I think that's more so what it is.
I mean, my most disappointing thing about tonight is they just didn't show up.
Yeah,
the Nuggets didn't even get off the bus today.
Yeah.
They did not show up. And you could tell in the pregame, and I hit on this, Michael Malone, there was a part of him that was concerned about that.
Yeah.
Because he knew Portland was going to come out with, like D-Line said, this is the series. Urgency, like an edge. They really wanted this one. They needed this one. And I could feel like Michael Malone was a little concerned that Denver wasn't going to be able to match that. Maybe because they won Game 3 and they were cool with a split. But that was a big thing I was thinking about heading into this game. And in the first 5 minutes, in the first 6 minutes of this game, you could tell Nuggets didn't show up. They didn't want it tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have it, man. They just didn't. They're like college students. They procrastinate. We told them ahead of time, the paper is not due this weekend, but if you wanted to get ahead on it, it'd be great. They're like,
that's so good.
See you later, dude. We're going to Chautauqua.
And I do think it sort of starts at the top, with Jokic. He is tonight, there's certain guys you expect, okay, whatever, they're 50-50 guys or whatever, but Jokic he does bring it so consistently often. And tonight, he was really surprising because I thought, one, he got absolutely dominated by Jusuf Nurkic. Nurkic was the MVP of this game, and we're going to spend a lot of time with him. And I've thought he has taken that matchup very personally, really, for the last 3 seasons. I know Nurk was out for a whole year, but for the last 3 seasons, he's taken that one. And tonight, it was Nurk was the guy that was stirring the pot tonight, making all of the plays, and Jokic just didn't. Well, he didn't care. It's just kind of always kind of in second gear. Yeah. Sure, I think he was tired, but but it doesn't matter. Nurkic was tired too. I mean, it was just. So I think the team followed sort of suit with that. You're looking for your guy to kind of show you we got this, and he just didn't seem interested in even doing that tonight. Yeah,
it was a surprise that the Nuggets starters just got absolutely cooked tonight because that lineup has been elite offensively throughout the season, or ever since they went to it. It's been elite in the playoffs. And I mean, Jokic finished as a minus 32 tonight. It's his worst plus-minus ever in his 6-year career. Playoffs, regular season, his worst plus-minus ever. And it looked like that tonight. Jusuf Nurkic dominated him on both ends of the floor. Nurk was great defensively also. And Jokic, he missed a lot of the shots that he hit in games 1 through 3.
So we're going to come back to Jokic and we're going to talk about all that stuff, but I want to bring something to your attention because Nurkic to me is the story. He's fouled out of games 2 and 3. Yep. Denver won those games, and they won them in the fourth quarter after he goes down. I mean, they had leads, but able to close because of that. Nurkic makes a huge impact for them, in part because they're so horrible defensively and he is good defensively, so it's it gives them an anchor. But even offensively, rolling to the basket, he slowed himself down tonight and was able to sort of maneuver around Denver, who I thought was late on rotations, but he also was patient in getting around them. But here's the thing that I think is concerning. Denver, in my opinion, has a Nurkic problem. Nurkic is a plus 38 raw plus minus in this series through 4 games.
Wow.
Plus 38. That is
how much of it came from tonight, though?
17.
Half of it.
All right, so he's a plus 21 through 3 games is quite a bit, and then plus 17 tonight. So yes, tonight was quite an ass whooping on that end, but I really do think the series comes down to him, and I'm not sure Denver has really figured things out with him.
We win
other than foul him out, and tonight Jokic just didn't seem interested in that.
I mean, who's guarding Nurkic?
Well, that's the thing is, it's not he did tonight actually go into Jokic on some post-ups, and
I know,
Jokic had no resistance, but
it's frustrating. Unfortunately, the Nuggets are wholly predicated on Nikola Jokic. If Nikola Jokic comes out, he just looked tired to me, man, and I can't be mad at him ever. He's the top human being.
He is the top human being.
Jokic was just not engaged tonight, and as Nikola Jokic goes, so go the Denver Nuggets.
Especially now. And Denver shot under 30% from 3, 34% from the field.
Right, if Jokic is going and cooking, he's getting in, he's passing.
This is what the Nuggets offense looks like with this group of players when Jokic's not cooking.
Yeah, is Jokic the MVP? This is what it looks like when Jokic is not playing, even though he was.
Yeah.
A munder against
Portland. We got mundered.
Oh, dang it.
I think you have to give Nurkic a tad bit of credit. He saw blood and went after it. Like,
Totally.
he realized that
Yeah.
Jokic was not engaged. And he was like, I'm going to just try to get all of the energy,
They
all of
had
the
to have
momentum
it.
on my side. I'm going to try to, overlook like everything else. On one side, Nurkic is trying his hardest. He's playing as much as he could. He knows what his game plan is. On the other side, Jokic doesn't care if Nurkic goes off, or he doesn't even feel like he has to guard him. I think that plays into those numbers because they're letting Nurkic do whatever he wants. And while the numbers like say he's doing well, like the eye test, what we're watching is showing that it doesn't really mean much. He's getting a lot of like stats that are just, they don't mean anything because that's the game plan. We're gonna
Right.
let you go off and try to go around you. Today, no one had it, so of course it blew up more. But this is what Nurkic has been doing.
Yeah. A little bit. I do think that he was more prepared for how Denver was going to rotate. I mean, Denver's been trying to force the ball into his hands on that short roll, and he, in the last game especially, fumbling and fouling and doing different things. Tonight it looked like he slowed himself down a little bit. Denver was late on their rotations,
Yeah,
and he
that
got
was
it going.
the other thing. Portland got whatever they wanted
Yeah.
on offense. They were super comfortable.
That was
all
a very
game.
comfortable game.
They got to their spots. They got penetration. They got open threes. Damian Lillard had one basket tonight.
So insane.
Damian Lillard had one basket in a game where Portland won by 20, and it should have been more.
But this is the thing, right? Denver's game plan in games 2 and 3 has been get the ball out of Lillard, like limit him
Yeah.
and make everyone else beat you. And I think Portland adjusted to that tonight, saying, all right, they're putting so much emphasis over here, but we can now go to Norman Powell, who had a great game
Yep.
tonight, CJ McCollum and Nurkic in the pick and roll, and they're going to be so overloaded over here that it's going to work. And look, this was the poison Denver had for everybody. You want to overload on this guy or that guy, all of a sudden Jamal Murray's going to go off, or maybe Michael Porter. And, tonight nobody showed up, including Jokic, but there was no secondary option. But I do think Denver has a Nurkic problem, and there has to be an approach for how do you slow him down, how do you get him into foul trouble, how do you put him into position where he can't muck things up, and you might have to get creative with it. Tonight just didn't have it, and I thought he got to run with it. Next guy I want to talk about, though, and this is a big one, is Michael Porter. What a game from him tonight. What a game. 3 points.
Did he even play tonight?
3 points on 3 shots in 23 minutes. Dev, what's your takeaway from that?
He's usually MPJ. Today was MP Nay. Like, I really did not.
Wow.
I did
How long
not
are you
like
thinking
it.
of that one for?
I mean, I do my thing sometimes. But no, really, I really, everything about that. And it's actually not only this game. He's not been himself lately. It's like the moment might be too big for him right now. And Norman Powell just like really dominated him in every sense of the word. But also, MPJ's not even aggressive offensively. He's not even trying to score. And then also, you already have your woes on the defensive end. So if you're not doing anything offensively and then you already like struggle defensively, like what are you out there for? Like that's what it's like come down to. And I'm not saying to bench him or not play him, but it's like someone needs to sit him down and have a real conversation with him. Hey, we really need you to be the scorer. Like, we need you to shoot the ball as much as you can because there are going to be nights that Jokic doesn't have it. Or also, he's carrying so much of a load. I know he wants some time off. That's what you're here for. Like, that was a horrible night for him.
Yeah. What do you think, Eric?
He's rattled, man. He hasn't looked good at any point in the series. Like, we had one Porter
Game
quarter.
one.
Yeah. But nothing consistent. And he's just like, he's just not ready. He's not ready. Like, it doesn't mean he's not going to be ready. He's not going to get there. But, like, it's just, I don't know. Like, we want Porter to be the Murray replacement. It's just not in the cards at this exact moment in time. Like, he shrinks down in big moments, confusingly, because he's so supremely talented. Like, he's having a really hard time with his handle. Like, people are picking the ball from him a lot. Like,
The physicality has really stood out
and that's
against
what you
him.
get in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you get in the
Yeah.
playoffs. Refs don't call as many fouls. You're allowed to
Exactly.
be more physical. And he's just not ready for it at this moment. And I think a lot of his struggles tonight really had nothing to do with like Denver's game plan or calling more plays for him or getting him more involved. He's got to help himself, man.
Yeah,
like
he
Michael
does.
Malone has this saying he loves to go to where he goes, you got to be a participant in your own recovery.
Oh, yeah, that's
and
his line.
that's exactly
It is
the
true with
case
him.
with Porter tonight. He was weak with the ball. He was getting pushed out of position. He was getting pushed up way beyond the three-point line, coming around screens by Norman Powell. Portland was physical with him, and he just didn't have an answer for it.
yeah.
The Norman Powell-Michael Porter Jr. matchup really was at the core of today's game. And Norman Powell, I mean, I think Norman Powell knew that this was his, like, okay, you're going to do this. You're over. Like, I can do that. I can take my guy. I can make this a physical thing. And he was screaming. He was flexing.
He's looking to like get into something.
He's trying to start something.
Yeah.
And Porter shied away from it, I thought, tonight. So here's the thing that's concerning. Game 1, 25 points for Michael Porter. Game 2, 18 points. Game 3, 15 points. Tonight, 3. That number is just dropping like this into tonight where it's the worst. And I do think, after last game, Nikola Jokic was asked about Michael Porter, and he said he's doing a great job of being bait. Porter's got to be more than that for Denver, going forward. Like, I get what he's saying. There are parts where it's like, use your gravity to our advantage, but now it's like, hey, man, that you need to be an actual threat. And I wonder, I'm so curious to see what Game 5 does for him. What do we have?
I think Gordon, our man, sums it up pretty well with the sticker he sent.
Oh, yeah.
Hippo character falling to the ground in a dramatic way, bursting into tears with the words "epic fail" in the background.
It was an epic fail tonight, man. This was Gordon. You're so true, man. So true.
Shakespeare himself couldn't have put it.
Yeah. Shakespeare himself.
They need so much more from Porter because this is who the Nuggets got. They got Facu, Austin Rivers, Monte Morris, and Marcus Howard as their guards, man. They need scoring from Porter because this is what it looks like when Jokic isn't playing like Michael Jordan and Michael Porter's a no-show. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's bad. Listen, if the Nuggets play bad, they'll lose the series. It's really all it comes down to. But they're not going to play bad. Like, we're not going to see this game again.
Yeah, but how easy is it to game plan or even beat a Nuggets team if all you have to do is focus on Jokic? Like, if that's all you're going to have to focus on, and Michael Porter Jr. is the second best player and he's not showing up, it makes it very tough on the other guys. Facu, it makes it tough on Austin Rivers. Everyone else, it makes it very difficult on because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Even if you're missing, they still have to respect you. Like, they still have to get out there, and it messes up the spacing. If you're not shooting, if you're not, holding your end of the deal, everyone else is just kind of wondering what they do, and then you start to see uncharacteristic like other aspects of them. So it just makes it really tough.
Yeah. The worst part of this is one of the questions was, Nurkic doesn't play heavy minutes because he's a big guy. And, can he play a bunch? Tonight, got it done in 27 minutes. He only had to play 27 minutes tonight to be a plus 32.
This game was over after the first 5 minutes of the third quarter.
So you hope maybe, make him play a bunch of minutes, see what happens. But, no, that was not the case tonight. Just absolutely dominant. Let's take a break. The one thing I will say is one battleground that just didn't matter tonight, but it is a battleground, is the bench unit. Portland did not go with Enes Kanter tonight. They decided to play small, to just not use a center off the bench. And Denver smacked that bench. Like, that second unit came in. This game was actually, believe it or not, guys, worse than it appeared if you take away the 14-4 run the bench went on to bring Denver back into it. So Denver starters really got beat 3 times tonight, three separate occasions.
It's crazy.
First quarter,
it's crazy.
Second quarter, and third quarter, they just got smacked.
We've played this team how many times this year now?
We've
played them, 4 times?
30, actually.
I don't know if Portland has a magic bullet now for Nikola Jokic. It just turns out they just have to hope and pray that Nikola Jokic is not Nikola Jokic. If so, they're going to look great.
We did say if Jokic plays bad, they're going to lose, and turns out this is what it looks like.
That's literally all it is. That's all it is.
That's like some genius type of ideas.
All right, show's over.
Show's over, dude.
My poor wife. Let's take a break. My poor wife, I'm looking at her down. She's at the bar all by herself. She's looks miserable. The bar's empty. They're playing Real Big Fish, and she's just sitting there with a
Real
by
Big
herself.
Fish type of afternoon.
She wanted to come. She wanted the atmosphere, and I'm like, yeah, it's not usually like this, but alas. Let's take a break. On the other side, excuses? Let's make some excuses.
Let's go.
And let's ask the panic button. We'll talk about different players, different situations. Should we hit the panic button?
All right. Guys, make sure to pick up some Mile High City Copper Lager from
today especially.
Breck Brew. Yes, today especially.
Drowned them. Drowned
Make sure you have some on deck for when's Game 5? Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday. So. Thank God. 3 days off. Thank God.
Make sure you have some Mile High City Copper Lager on tap for Tuesday night. Pick it up at your local liquor store. Pick it up at Breck Brew. It's got that Nuggets Skyline blue can with the Nuggets logo on it. Can't miss it. Pick some of that up from Breck Brew. Also, at Strava Craft Coffee, if you're a first-time customer, you can get 25% off your order of Strava Craft Coffee from StravaCraftCoffee.com. Use the code DNVR25. Maybe get a Strava Craft Coffee subscription. Maybe get your coffee delivered every 2, 3, 4, 6, or 8 weeks. And you can get 25% off with the code DNVR25.
I want to shoot you guys straight. I'm honking right now.
You're honking.
I'm definitely not honking.
Had a cup of Strava. Maybe this is why I'm in a better mindset than the rest of you.
Yeah.
I see a graphic or a tweet that came across. Nuggets 2-4 this year in day games.
Don't steal my excuses segment.
All right,
Don't
you know
steal
what? Do we have an excuses graphic?
No, I didn't get
No
it.
excuse. All right, we're gonna guys. This is
my excuse is that I was making the score
yeah. What's
graphic.
your excuse? Is that what it was? Okay. we're gonna make some excuses. Are they fair? No. Are they what losers do? Yes.
This is the losers lounge.
The losers lounge. It's time to make some excuses.
We're not ourselves in here.
We're not ourselves. Saturday, it's a day game. We're off. I'll start off, guys. The day game. I mean, what is it? The NBA. You know why the NBA had the day game? So they have to sandwich Denver in between Oxygen Channel games.
Can you get the tinfoil hat, please?
The tinfoil? Oh, a little tinfoil hat? It's because the NBA is like, well, how do we slot? We got to get the Lakers the prime time. We got to get this. Like, we got to move every piece around. They're like, what's left? Denver. Did they just play 36 hours ago or 30 hours ago? Yes, but you know what? We just put it. Nobody cares. Put it there. So that's my first excuse. 30-hour turnaround time between. Oh, is this it? B? Adam Silver.
Yeah.
The
What
conspiracy.
did the NBA expect?
What did the NBA? What did they
being
want
honest.
from this game?
Yeah.
You know what the best part is going to be though? The NBA is going to have the they're going to come out with the ratings, and this game is going to be the worst one. And they're going to be like, Lakers ratings were great, and it's like, no shit, it was prime time on a Sunday. Versus Denver, it gets the 11 o'clock slot on the Oxygen Network.
We know there are a lot of activities to do in Denver.
Yeah, there are a lot of
The
activities.
wildest part is that the Wizards and the Sixers game, it's like late, like at 7 Eastern or something. They should have just.
But no, you know why
swapped that out.
somebody was saying it's Embiid, it's Russell Westbrook, it's Brad. It's like the name. It's not the teams. It's not the competitiveness. It's
Man.
the let's be
I'm
honest.
glad
this
you had
game,
that tinfoil on, man. Like it get dangerous for you with all of these conspiracies.
I'm
you're
just
dropping.
saying, there's a lot of them. So day game. First one, excuse. Can't count this game. It's a day game.
Well, let me get mine out of the way. My excuse is the NBA knows that they made a mistake by banishing Carmelo Anthony. Now that he's back, it's his birthday.
Oh,
they
it
were
was
like,
his
hey, we're just
birthday.
going to make sure that there's some momentum on their side on his birthday. Let's just try to throw everything else under the rug, put it under Adam's fridge. That's the only reason that they won this game and came out with that type of intensity.
Yeah.
got an
Melo
excuse.
winning on his birthday, that just made it that much work.
Listen,
Let him have his day.
let Melo. You guys even let me feel good on my birthday.
That's true.
I
That's
did
good
get you a
point.
cake.
I remember that.
We
Like
got
that-
you a cake, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like even I can feel good on my
all
birthday.
right.
So if not Melo, obviously way above me. So
Okay.
he obviously deserves a birthday.
A little bit above.
A little bit, but
All the same. Okay, my excuse. Nuggets retired, man. Tired team. The Nuggets retired. They went out last night. They
went out last night.
Well, I mean, they woke
They
up.
get a
they're
growler.
never-
They get a couple growlers.
Dude, you get growlers delivered to your, whether you want them or not. They
you
growlers
arrive.
rain like rain in Portland. They're just everywhere. They flow. They probably eat some voodoo donuts like the
The
tourists.
voodoo donuts, man.
Cereal
Cereal all
I told
over
you,
'em.
or I didn't tell you. Somebody told you. There's strip clubs everywhere. In Portland.
Everywhere in Portland.
But
yeah.
I mean, truthfully, your rhythms are off. Like, the how dispirited the Nuggets were playing today. I was like, I can't believe you're going to do us like this. But then I was like, yes, I can. 'Cause this is what you do this is my world, your world, all of our world is building the Nuggets up and putting them on a pedestal and being like, look at this team. Look at this team. And everyone's like, fine. And then they fuck up. And we're like, sorry.
It is funny that because I saw some people on the timeline tonight, like I haven't been watching this series very
There
closely
it is.
or whatever, and then they give the take based on this game, and it's like,
I was told that this was the Nuggets year. That's what everyone told me in the Twitter.
You're like, nobody told you that.
Yeah, first
told
off, they're still going to win the series. Screw this game. I hate everything about this game.
Well, that's my excuse because maybe the Nuggets could have wrapped up in 5, but they wanted to go 7. You know why?
Why?
They want to just give us more content. They want to give us
my
more pre
God,
and
they
post
are
game
so
shows.
good to
They're
us.
thinking about us, man.
Mike,
yeah.
I love Jokic.
Yeah.
I love
mean,
Jokic.
you know what
man
I
of the
don't-
people, man of the culture.
You know what I love that they're thinking about us, but I don't love that they backed down.
They did back down tonight.
Come
They did
on.
back down tonight. They backed down pretty
And
hard.
then B, they waited for Saturday afternoon, packed bar.
Oh, the bar
vibes
was
immaculate.
The vibes were so good in the bar for
Everyone
like
can
5 minutes.
Talk about the locker room. They take a long time in there too.
They do take a long time in the
Tell them
locker
about
room.
that. It's time for me to go.
I don't know.
You guys
They're thinking about us. They just want us to have more shows, more content, more drama, more big drama guys.
You guys are low on excuse. I still got so many more. I mean, they didn't have their guys.
They didn't have their guys.
Did you guys see
Oh, that
Austin
is
Rivers?
actually a valid excuse.
Did you see Austin Rivers' ass?
Yeah.
Has now joined the casualties. He now has a bloody ass somehow. I don't know how it happened.
I think
And
it was
that was-
more of a hip than an ass.
That was a
but-
wild play that it happened on. He like twisted like 4 times, like he lands straight on it. He's holding
It's
it.
kind of scary to be bleeding from there.
Yeah, especially
That's a
on like
spot you
hitting.
don't like. Nobody really
Yeah.
ever bleeds from
I
there.
feel like
like
he hit
burns,
Norman
you don't
Powell and then went
bleed.
straight to the ground. You should have like a burn or something.
Yeah,
I
I'm not
don't
a doctor,
understand.
but it was weird that he was bleeding from his hip.
Do you have a diagnosis? Do we know what it is? Is it a contusion?
Yeah,
Is it
I'll have
a
to
lesion?
I'll have to go
Only
back to
24 minutes for
books and
him,
think
so who
about that one.
knows? You know, I mean, who knows what? You know, we got 3 days off. Hopefully, it scabs up.
Well,
and then
he did have the scab in Game 3.
and
that
then
he
in Game
picked
4, he
off.
can rip it off right before game time. And
Oh
just
yeah,
go
that's
off.
actually probably why he needed another scab.
He needed another
to rip
scab.
off in Game 5.
We got any more excuses, guys? I feel like Malone just needs to make another adjustment,
Can be like,
but he will.
he's like, hey, can you play better, Jokic?
I mean, like Jokic, you just have to just like poke Jokic with that stick, like in that meme.
Yeah.
Do something.
Yeah. Any other excuses, guys? Do we have any more?
Let me think. One more excuse. I'm usually really good for these.
You really are usually pretty good
Hold
at
on.
excuses.
What are some other excuses? You know what? It was unseasonably sunny in Portland.
It was unseasonably sunny in Portland.
I'll tell you that the Pacific Northwest at this time of year when it stops raining is the most incredible place in the
But
country.
it will still throw you off a little because you're not expecting it.
They walked out. They're ready to be,
Yeah.
just
They had
see-
umbrellas
they're
for
ready to-
nothing?
well, like you walk around in Portland, you expect to see guys with big long beards with no pigment in their skin because they've not left their houses in like 8 to 9 months.
Yeah.
When you go there and people are outside, they're active, they're like happy.
Right, like maybe Denver packed
throws you
wrong.
off,
maybe,
dude.
maybe everybody packed wrong and it just kind of threw off everything.
They packed wrong.
They packed wrong.
Yeah.
Let's now move on to panic. I'm told that this is our panic button.
It is.
It is. If you, yeah.
So we're going to decide
You gotta pop it.
what things, whether we need to or not need to hit the panic button on, okay? All right. Jokic's fatigue. Looked awfully tired tonight, man. Short on every shot. Burned like crazy. Harrison, are we hitting the panic button?
I'm not hitting the panic button on that.
Okay.
I'm not.
Why?
I think Jokic has an extra gear that he can go to when he is fatigued. And I feel like we might see that in Game 5. Like, I'm expecting the bounce-back game of bounce-back games from Jokic in Game 5. So, no, I'm not panicking. Not pressing the panic button on that. I mean, this guy played 65 minutes in an overtime game last playoffs after he had a grueling regular season as well. So, not hitting the panic button.
Dev, okay, his fatigue, he gets 3 days off, but after that, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 1 day off with travel, the rest of the series. So with that in mind, are we hitting the panic button on Jokic's fatigue?
I'm not gonna hit that button.
They're not going to hit the
I'm
panic
not.
button.
I'm not
All
gonna
right.
hit that button. I'm not panicking because I know that Jokic is not panicking. It's just another excuse for him. He's gonna realize
We're not
hey,
about excuses on this
No,
show.
we're not.
I need to play better.
our losses on the
There's
chin.
no way that we lay down like that. And me as a leader, I have to play better. I'm sure that he's gonna say that in the post game. Like he's just gonna just put it all on him because that's just the type of leader that he is. He's tired. He's played every game this season, and that's something maybe like they look back on like, hey, sometimes you're gonna have to take these nights off. Like that's just what it's gonna come down to. But it's about learning experiences. I feel like he is gonna have the bounce back game of ages this next one. I truly do believe that as well. But also I think that he'll reserve himself. He's gonna go back to his 30 minutes because he's like, hey, when I push harder, this is what happens. I get tired, like in different ways. But also he has another gear. Like Harrison was dead on with that.
Okay.
Stay away from the button.
What do you think? Jokic's fatigue. Oh, my God. Look at him.
Ooh, look at that face. Ooh.
No, I'm not hitting the panic button on Jokic. You're asking me to hit the panic button on the
fatigue,
top
he played
human being?
all 72
Yeah.
games. He's played all these minutes.
Oh, it's over. Guys, pack it up. Guys from Portland, you're right. You're right. Like, you're better.
All right,
Nurkic
all
is
right.
better than Jokic.
All right,
He's better.
point made. All right.
Listen, should I? Okay.
Are you done? Yeah, are you still cooking? Do I need to get out of the kitchen?
I'm just telling you,
All right.
be worried, guys. We've seen Jokic get tired before. He never bounces back.
Michael Porter Jr., 3 points. Looking flustered. I mean, we talked about you got to have. We're coming into the series. We said we got Jokic, you got Porter. Now, who else is going to step up? Now you don't even have Porter. Lately.
Can I go first?
All right, Dev, panic button. Oh, he's hitting the panic button.
I have to hit the button.
Oh no!
He's panicking at this point. I have to panic. He doesn't even want to shoot.
Yo, Connor.
He's turning down open shots.
Connor gave us 50.
Oh, God.
God.
F you, Connor.
Connor, come on, bro.
Connor,
We're like, hell yeah.
are you a bro
boom.
or not?
Yeah.
But also, like, you hit the damn button. MPJ does not look like himself. He just really doesn't. And we saw him take a lot of shots. They weren't going in. You see him take no shots. I feel like his confidence is down. Also on the defensive end, like he understands that they're being physical with him. That's not going to change. It's still going to be the playoffs next time. Like, there's nothing that I see that says, okay, things are about to change soon, because regardless, they're still going to be Portland. They're still going to play in the exact same way. They're still going to be very physical. And I mean, I just don't know, unless Jokic himself says you have to shoot, like how LeBron and Mike Miller did it. You shoot it every single time you touch it. If you pass it, then you need to come and sit the bench, because that's the only thing that I can see him shooting. I feel like he's just having a constant battle with himself, and right now I don't see it turning around.
Harrison.
Oh, boy. What?
Oh, my goodness. We're smashing a triple hit at the panic button.
You went 3 on the panic button?
Yeah, I'm smashing it. Because of what you said earlier, he's been trending this way throughout the series, and that is very concerning. Now, maybe he gets back home in Game 5, familiar territory in front of the home crowd, has a bounce-back game. It's on the table. It's very much on the table. But the fact that he's been trending this way for this entire series, and tonight was obviously the lowest of lows, and it felt like Norman Powell was in his head a little bit.
Yo, man.
And that's Norman Powell's
Norman
goal.
Powell wants that smoke against MPJ.
He does.
Like, he really wants. I mean, Nurkic wants it against Jokic. Jokic, I think, also against her. But Norman Powell going right at him.
Yeah.
Flexing. I mean,
he was all up into him
Whatever,
tonight.
dude.
And he knew he could. It felt like he knew he could get to Porter that way. And that's what he did.
Eric.
What has Norman Powell
There's a-
done to the series before this?
All right. Are we
am
hitting the panic button on
for
MPJ?
MPJ? No!
You're not hitting the MPJ. Wow,
I haven't seen that move in 12 years.
Here's the thing, dude. MPJ has shown us time and time again that he has to hit rock bottom before he rises back up. Like
The tower has to fall.
this is the playoff tower. Like, this is as
playoff
low as it
tower.
can possibly get for Michael Porter Jr. Like, Michael Porter Jr. is now, if he already wasn't, like, he's gonna just really like look in the mirror, like, yo, what was that? Like,
He does need to look in the mirror. Like, Michael Porter needs a gut check.
Michael Porter Jr.'s issues are not physical. They're not.
I think they're
skill
physical.
based. They're mental. Like
Like one of his
Okay.
issues is actually
Physical.
a physical thing, though.
they're mental.
Strength.
They're always mental with him. Like his form is perfect. Like he's a basketball phenom. He's taller than his defenders. He's getting like just put in bad positions because he's just playing so soft, and he just has to like. He's also like doesn't have to play soft. He's a strong dude.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's an attitude thing. And he just like he has to be.
All right,
Go
guys.
ahead, bang it. The double fake.
This is a double fake. I'm hitting it, not saying that it's hopeless, but I'm hitting it because it's now or never for Michael Porter. Like, this isn't a, work through it, man. Like, the team's got your back for this or that or whatever. It's like, hey, man, Game 5, you're back.
what I'm
Nuggets
saying.
are probably back. You're not back. Like, or Denver win this game if Michael Porter gives you less than 15 points in game 5. 15. It's compared to 3 sounds like a
And
monumental
it's funny
amount.
because 15 for him a month ago was easy.
Easy.
He walked on the court and got 15 points in the regular season.
I'm saying like I need to see the Nuggets falter in a game that is like truly consequential.
Well, it's coming up.
Exactly.
But that's why I hit the panic button. Is because
But I'm
it's
not
trending in the wrong direction, and it is like, hey, man, the tower has crumbled.
Yes.
If it's not done crumbling,
Right.
then Denver's done. It's like the tower's crumbled, man. Build it right
Panic
back up.
to me means that you're like are in a state where you don't think it's going to come back. You're like just looking for anything. Like, and I'm not there with MPJ. I'm like, this was
It's
a
like
terrible
pulling
game.
the fire alarm, It's like signaling that
Yeah,
it is the time for emergency.
But what does the emergency mean? Like he just has to play better?
The emergency,
The emergency
is
is
now or never.
you could go down 3-2 going back to Portland.
Yeah.
for
Also,
game
I think
6.
that a fire. The fire.
That also
would
means
be
there's a
the-
fire.
Is
Yeah.
he on? Do you believe the Nuggets and Michael Porter Jr. are on fire?
Yeah.
Hey,
If
what?
you don't, if
It
you don't
sounds
win this
weird
next
because
game,
being on fire means making shots, and he's not making shots.
That's
so he
true.
is not
There-
on fire.
there is a
Are
fire.
the Nuggets?
This metaphor is weaving in and out of everything. I don't.
Well, you're
panic. It's a panic.
I possess no panic.
All right.
I possess no panic with this team.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see here. Yusef Nurkic
Michael
plus
St.
30. No, hold on. We'll save these for when we're done panic meter. Yusef Nurkic dominating the plus minus, fouling out, but tonight bounce back, center of it all. Are you hitting the panic button on Nurkic?
No, I'm not hitting the panic button on Yusef Nurkic. I mean, he's been great in games 1 and 4. Portland's won in games 1 and 4. He's been bad in 2 and 3. Denver won those games.
I think he was good in games 2 and 3, other than being in foul trouble and not being able to stay on the court.
I mean, my core belief about Yusef Nurkic is just he's not built for it. He's just not about it.
That's because he 100% quit on his teammates in Denver.
Yeah, I have a lot of
that's why. But in
I have
Portland,
a lot of
he
reason
hasn't.
to think that.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's been as good in Portland as people think, but he's been good this series.
Been good in the series, man. It's what matters.
Now, I think Denver can still win this series if he continues to play well. I don't think that's absolute disaster for Denver. Like, if Yusef Nurkic has a good game, 5, 6, and 7, Denver can still win. I think Denver can still win, so not hitting the panic button.
Eric?
No, you know I'm not hitting that panic button.
You're not going to hit it on anything, huh?
I'm not panicked at all. Like, I'm just not.
He
Like,
doesn't panic in life,
I panic in life frequently, but
You don't show it, at least.
listen. Like, this team, like, I just believe in this squad, and I just saw them just handle the Portland Trailblazers in such a easy and methodical manner the last 2 games, and I saw them come out this game, and I didn't watch the Nuggets play. Like, I was like, okay, when Jokic missed his first 3 shots, it was like, okay, well, whatever. Like, to me, if you ask me just quickly, like, was this game more about Portland being impressive or Denver being unimpressive? It's Denver.
Yeah.
Like, nothing Portland did. I was
Denver
like,
Denver was really.
They were
you're right that it
deeply
was both that Portland did bring
They
it
were-
and had
like,
intensity and made shots,
Yeah.
but
What did they
Denver
do?
was really unimpressive.
They were.
tonight.
like, what was the thing you were most impressed by with Portland? Like Norman Powell?
Nurkic, Powell.
Were you impressed by Nurkic? I mean, he like
I
scored,
was
but
tonight.
I was really unimpressed with Denver. Like, you're right.
that's what I
do.
mean. Like,
do feel very
when
unimpressed with
I
Denver.
think about the game, I'm not like, oh wow, Nurk took it to us. I'm like, dude, Denver let Nurk, like, Campazzo was on him several times, and Jokic wasn't rotating, and he was like, his feet looked like they weighed 800 pounds, and he shot 1 3, missed it, and
No, he shot 4. He made
well,
1.
I guess at a certain point, I went and got a sandwich. I'm not gonna lie.
That's why he's not panicked. He didn't really see the game.
There's
Went for a great
so
walk.
many basketball games, and they were just outliers. And to me, this was an absolute outlier. Like, if anything, if this is a game where it comes down to it, they're going head to head. Portland beats them by 10 points, and they figured something out. Like, I'm nervous, but a game like this, it's like Denver didn't even show up. I'm like, what? Okay, why did you waste everybody's time?
Yeah, I think that's like the biggest disappointing thing for me at this point, because the Nuggets had such an opportunity.
They just
They had
wasted our
such
time,
an
dude.
opportunity to go up
Right here.
3-1 and really put the pressure, like, obviously on Portland. It was tonight. It would have been even more in a closeout game on Tuesday, and it was just a missed opportunity. It was a huge missed opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, like, the Portland scored about what they've been scoring this entire series. It's just Denver scored 95 points.
Yeah.
And it wasn't due to a like defensive lockdown performance by Nurkic and the rest of the Blazers. It wasn't just like they figured them out and they were out schemed them. It's like what are these guys doing? Like, they're not passing the ball, they're not driving, they're just taking threes, and they're like, whatever. It was disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all this stuff is true. I do like your optimism here, but that was a really bad game. It's got a really bad taste in my mouth. Speaking of which, you guys ready for a bad taste in all of our mouths? That's why they pay me the big bucks.
We
man.
deserve it. We deserve that.
All right,
taste.
a loser shot. I love Kale. You're the best for pouring a half shot in each of these, buddy.
might not
Look
even
at this.
be a half.
Look at this, man. There's like hardly anything in here. It's
All
like
right.
breathing in alcohol.
To a game that doesn't matter, to a fan base that does very much.
To clarify, you all have to drive home. I'm just trying to
You interrupted my
Come up with
toast for that.
excuses.
All right, whatever, Givali.
Givali.
Thank you, Connor. Thank you, Connor.
Sometimes like a half shot's worse than a whole.
Yeah, it was worse. That wasn't that worse.
Dude, people, again.
Come on, Kale. Fill it up all the way so it's not worse.
People came up again today. Brett Kane from Altitude Radio came up.
Shout out, Brett.
Love that dude.
Love him too.
Other
Took a
than
shot-
his Nebraska fanhood, don't love that.
Took a shot of Rakia Said he liked it.
It's like a rite of passage when you come upstairs at the bar. You come up, you take.
Yeah,
a
I got to
shot
go
of
buy
rum,
some
yeah.
more. I'm costing me an arm and a leg. I got to get the company to pay for these.
There's a lot. There's a lot of things we got to work out after today.
We have a lot of work out. Let's take another break, guys. On the other side, Brendan Vogt is speaking as we speak. He is speaking with Nikola Jokic. I'm curious to hear what he had to say about this. Dev has to get home. He's really
me and Dev have to soothe ourselves after that.
like rubbing the old chest. All right, let's take a break. We'll get to that on the other side.
Green Mountain Dental Group, guys. If you're in Denver looking for a dentist, check these guys out. They're 15 minutes from downtown Denver. They're awesome at what they do. They're Denver sports fans. You can also get a free Sonicare toothbrush from Green Mountain Dental Group when you schedule a cleaning, x-ray, and exam. A lot of us here at DNVR go there. So check them out. Get a free Sonicare toothbrush when you schedule a cleaning, x-ray, and exam. You can now get the Lawnmower 4.0 from
Let's
Manscaped
go.
as well. Get on this, guys. Way better than the 3.0.
Do
Way
Memorial
better.
Day,
Big
everybody
upgrade.
out dealing with their lawns, mowing.
Yeah, a must-have for the summer, I should say. Get the Lawnmower 4.0 from Manscaped. You guys can get it for 20% off.
Let's go.
With free shipping when you use the code DNVR at manscaped.com. Wireless charging. Did I mention that?
No, somebody told me that the other day. Was it you?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, wow, what a fact.
It's an incredible upgrade from the 3.0. You can now charge wirelessly.
Dude, Wynn's been here the whole time. So the progression of the lawnmowers. He's a big fan of this 4.0. I can see it on his face.
Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code DNVR at Manscaped. If you need help with taking out a mortgage, if you need help buying a house, check out the good folks over at Chevalier Mortgage. Mike and Virginia Chevalier. Set up a free consultation with them at dnvrmortgage.com. They've been in the business forever. They can make the really crazy process of buying a house super easy. Again, visit them at dnvrmortgage.com. Call them up, Mike at 970-412-2472. Set up a free consultation. See what they're all about. Michael Chevalier, NMLS number 1931006. Virginia Chevalier, NMLS number 1910631.
That was fast. It's through all the ads?
Yes, sir.
You're so fast, man.
He's a pro, dude.
When Vote's here, it's like 30 minutes.
I mean, I do
Because
this
it's the
often.
vote show.
It's the vote,
he's
my
like
God.
selling the product, but really he just wants us all to look
He
at
takes like Obama type of spaces in between to try to build some type
Obama
of
cadence.
yeah, like he wants to build
I'm
it
gonna tell
up
you
so that
all
we'd like
about Breckenridge Brewery. Official beer of
it. Of DNVR.
DNVR.
You know, like
You
you know
can
what I
get
really
from
want?
Green Mountain Dental Group a free Sonicare toothbrush.
I'm like, maybe I should go get one. I feel like he's telling me.
He's
I have
really
to go get one.
That's so funny. Obama really selling it to us. Let's bounce. There's no really even to bounce around the league. Let's just talk quick preview here of what to expect.
Sure.
One item of note. Vote was texting the group chat saying that nobody has talked yet. So player, I don't know if there's a team
He
meeting.
Vote also put in so after I put the game graphic up, he's like, this graphic is wrong. There's no way these 3-pointers are right. The Nuggets shot more, made more 3-pointers than the Portland Trailblazers.
Crazy, man. That is worthy of the panic
The Portland
button.
Trailblazers made 12 3-pointers. The Nuggets made 13. Watching that game, you would have thought the Portland had 45.
We don't have like the panic things on there, but there were a few things to panic about.
Let me hear it.
That did make. I think the
We're back
fact
to
that
panic button.
the Nuggets were able to be blown out in the way that they did with Lillard doing really nothing. That is a little scary for me.
Again, though, I do think that there is a recipe here, and it's just like, oh, you're not going to double yoke to take away his passing. Now he's going to score. It's like, oh, you're going to take away Lillard so much. This is why the playoffs are so interesting. It's because you in the regular season, 90% of the time you win the same way. It's like these are our strengths and they shine tonight. But in the playoffs, it's like, oh, Lillard is your captain and best player. We're going to double him and we're going to put all this pressure. And they're like, maybe you fumble through it for a bit. Then it's like, no, CJ's good too. And so to me, you keep them away from what they did in game one, which was a team effort where Lillard led the charge, but everybody was eating. Tonight was just, hey, we're going to counter what Denver did. I mean, it's the playoffs. You're like, Portland had a hit. Denver countered. Denver, now Portland has countered back. Now it's on Denver's turn to okay, how do we adjust now?
I'm looking at the box score. I'm amazed we scored 95 points even.
I know.
Aaron Gordon had 6 points.
Wow. Who had all the points?
MPJ had
Aaron
3.
Gordon,
Jokic, still with the worst game he's ever played, was still our leading scorer with 16 points.
That's really a bad leading score.
That's a
though.
bad-
Something to panic about.
Aaron
That's something to panic
Aaron
about.
Gordon's got to be better on the rim. He's got to be better on the hoop, man.
I just said Michael Porter's hands.
He's got to finish
that's
better.
Aaron
Gordon
Gordon
does.
was 2 of 7.
Yeah, he's got to finish better, man. He's got to be stronger in there.
Yeah. All right, so there's there's plenty to panic about.
I wanted to ask you about this, though. Portland's bench. No Canner tonight, obviously. We weren't surprised about that. They go small with Hollis Jefferson. I don't think Denver needs to really change up much that they're doing with Denver's bench unit.
Yeah.
You think Denver just pretty much runs back a similar game plan with that second unit, right?
I mean, the second unit is not a problem unless Nurkic goes to the second unit, but then the starter. I mean, honestly, both of those Portland units need Jokic, and tonight they made it work by just punting their second unit. So, no, I think Denver can be fine. Millsap did get it going a little bit there down the stretch. Not really. I mean, he had a couple moves that were the old Millsap, but I don't know. Those bench minutes do seem to be becoming less and less important, and I wonder as the series goes on now, do they play even fewer minutes? I don't know. That'd be interesting to see.
Well, you'll probably just have to, for Malone's approaches, play the bench as long as you can until Portland finally makes a decision. So you have to win the bench minutes because it gives Jokic time to breathe. And then when you see Lillard come in, or maybe even you just wait until Nurkic comes in, let Lillard do his thing. But when Nurkic comes in, that's when you finally bring in Jokic and just try to play cat and mouse type of game with that. Just to put the bench on because the Nuggets bench is not being outplayed by Portland, and I don't think that there's really a game plan for Portland rather than not playing their minutes, their bench as long minutes.
Yeah, the bench was all in plus.
Yeah. So you just try to find time for Jokic to rest, and that's a time that you can, and then also that's the time that typically that's when Michael Porter Jr. gets going, and that's when he's at his best because he understands. It's on him. He is the offense. He is the go-to guy. So now you maybe just try to emphasize it even more that when Jokic goes out, you take every single shot. I don't care what's happening. I don't care what's going on. These are the times that we need you to because the offense can only go as far as you take it when he's not on.
And you can tell him that, and he could hear that, but then he could also go out and not even want it, like he did tonight.
But I don't know. I think Porter even one of the shots at least tonight. He only took 3, right? One of the shots, his feet aren't set. You can just tell he's uncomfortable because the way I have phrased it, he has an unlimited amount of skill, shot making and this or that, but there are little things that are blocking it, and in a regular season game maybe they block it less, but when you get into a push comes to shove like this, it's hey man, they're going to take away that easy part, so now you have to generate, and it's he just doesn't have that right now. But again, Jamal Murray 2019, he also looked like a total regular season only player, 82 game player, not a 16 game player. And now we know the opposite of that is true. Just Michael Porter has a challenge in front of him. He's got to break through it. And if he does, I really do think it'll unlock a lot. That's what I'd really love. I mean, if I could have a wish for Game 5, it'd be a Porter game. I mean, as much as I love a Jokic game, if Porter actually had this mental breakthrough where it was oh my God, that's right, they have this other weapon.
Pushed Norman Powell down and got on top of him.
Dunks non-stop, just going off, and it's that's right, Denver has this other weapon that's not a 3-point per game guy.
Right. Yeah, I really want to see MPJ unleash.
It'd be awesome.
I want to see the MPJ unleash. I want to see just like you say, I want to see an outpouring of not only of points but of emotion. Screaming,
emotion,
just knowing that yo, you're not gonna punk me. I'm here. You can't ignore me. That MPJ,
we need him to go full Trae Young. His buddy.
Yes, we do. Trae Young gets it. It's the playoffs, man. I would love to see Michael Porter Jr. talking to the benches. I'd love to see him antagonizing Portland fans. Go get a growler, stuff like that.
Yeah. Don't see that one happening.
But
growlers are so overrated. So overrated.
They are, dude. They go flat immediately.
Yeah, why?
Portland, why growlers? Anyway, I want to see it, dude, and it's entirely on the table.
What do you want to see, Dev?
I just want to see. I want to see Nuggets punch first, and not only punch first, every single time. Just come out as the underdog every single time. Not we're going to counter and play hard every other game because we want to see how you're going to adjust to us. I want them to be the, what is it called in when there's dog racing, there's the bunny or whatever that they're chasing.
The rabbit
or what is that called?
I think it's a rabbit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I want them to be where Portland's chasing them the entire time. They're never behind, or they're never trying to see what they're doing on the other side. When you go talk to all of these players, every single time they say, we don't care what they're doing, we care what we're doing. But that's not true. Like they actually do care what they're doing because that's what they want to adjust to. That's like where they want to make changes. I want the Nuggets to come in like, this is what we're going to do no matter what. We have the best player in the series. We're going through him, try to beat it, and then if you stop it, that's when we like make adjustments. So I really want the Nuggets to hit first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Entirely possible. I would say not possible, likely. I think it's likely. Like we've seen what it looks like when the Nuggets like feel punked and they come back out and it's just like all business Jokic. Haircut Jokic comes in.
I want to see the Jokic bounce back game. I want to see him just have another absolutely dominant performance, and I think he will. I bet he will put a lot of the blame on himself for tonight's game. And look, every time the pressure has been on him to deliver, the guy delivers. The guy delivers every single time. So the pressure will be on him to have a great game in Game 5, and I think he will.
Jokic bounce back for sure. It's almost just a given. If I were to say a one wish, though, like specific about it, defensively, I think he's been fantastic offensively till tonight. But offensively, it's been like otherworldly how efficient he's been in game 1 through 3, how tough it's been. But the defense hasn't been great consistently. I would love to see him come out and, nope, you know what? I'm locked in on this end of the court tonight too. And maybe he has just enough energy, he knows, for only 2 or 3 of those in a series, but
Dude, as much as I hate it, like I love this about sports too. Like just insane emotional roller coaster.
I hate it too. I love it. Yeah, it's hate love.
Like you just hate it, but it's like everyone's like, oh,
that's what it's about.
Everyone sucks.
That's what it's all about.
Bunch of amateurs, and and it's hilarious. It's like you just get caught up in the moment, but like. Do it, man. Go with that ride. Like, feel it. Like, the theater of sports is like so unmatched by anything because it feels like the most important thing in the world at the moment. And then if you're like, an adult human being, then you can stand up and be like, well, that didn't matter. Yeah, but in the moment, like, you're right. Like,
we went through it last year through 2 rounds, and at the end of it, we were all saying, like, would we trade that for anything?
For anything.
No.
For anything. Like the last game was one of the greatest things that's ever, like, that was one of the best nights of my life. And why, like, are the Nuggets, like, does anyone in the chat, do you believe that we watched the true form of the Nuggets tonight? Like, was this the Nuggets in your mind? Like,
right.
No,
this was a very bad version of them. To your point, my handle on Reddit is Icarus Adam. And that's exactly why. It's because it's like,
you fly too close to the side, and then
because I'm like always leading into that. It's like, why the lesson, like, never. It's like, fuck yeah, right at that high. What are you talking about? You're supposed to have something awesome and just kind of fly middle of the road.
We're like,
no.
to the sun,
baby. We're going to the sun. Oh man,
I'm with it. Yeah, you're right, guys. Work it out. Like, you're right. The Nuggets suck. Let it go. Just churn through it. Like,
is the chat having a meltdown?
I mean, like, there's a lot of like, we got to see if Jokic is the real MVP. These Jokic and a bunch of amateurs, like, like the stuff that you expect after a game like this.
Yeah.
You're right. You're wrong. I mean, you're wrong. You're right. Like, you're right.
It's so condescending, but also so loving. so loving. Oh, man. So we might have to just cut the show, guys. I mean, Jokic apparently has talked. Aaron Gordon has yet to even come to the podium, and so it could be.
Dude.
If he hasn't even come yet, we're at least another 15 minutes.
Well, we should get Vote out here then.
He's upstairs, yeah.
Yeah, tell him to come down. Just give us the lowdown at least on what.
At least what Jokic had to say. Yeah, I'll give him that one. We'll see if he responds to this one. He has not yet. Any other final thoughts or takeaways?
I mean,
I will say this about the bar. The bar is so great tonight, packed. Like, so we opened at 12. The game was at 2. At 12, there was a line, and immediately the tables were all full. Like, there was enough people in line before 12 that there was only standing room. 2 hours before.
Yeah.
And then they were sticking with it. Like, it's funny because I thought once the game went to shit in the third quarter and Denver's down 30, I was like, all right, everybody's going to file out. Nobody left.
Nope.
Everybody left. Everybody's like, let's go Nuggets. You're like, all right.
No, not only let's go Nuggets. We got a Vlatko Chanchar.
We got a Vlatko Chanchar. We got multiple Austin Rivers chants. We got a let's go Nuggets chant at the buzzer.
This is like,
that's the point. When
you go to the arena and like the game's over, it's a blowout, up or down, whatever, and like, maybe 60-70% of the arena starts to get out. And they're like, oh, I can get out early now and only sit in traffic for a long time. And then there's the guys that hang around. The bar was 100% people that are like, F the traffic.
Right. We want the traffic. Give us the traffic.
Eric's out of here? Yeah, Eric's like, you got to stay here, Dev. Oh, look at Dev. He is. Hey, should we open up our laptop so we can get the audio? You should just go get the audio.
D-Lock.
Yeah, we could.
Just like right there. Find out if something crazy. Oh my God, he's putting on the jacket.
Eric.
I love the commitment to the bit. All right, we got Brendan Vogt in the house. This was a funeral. How was the post-game commentary?
Felt a bit like a funeral. I mean, I shouldn't say that. Just the questions were downers, obviously. The energy was low from the guys.
I love that the questions are doubters. Coach,
It's
I'm
a
sad.
coach.
What can you tell me?
Coach, I don't feel so good. Let me see.
Coach,
Where's
I
my
mean-
phone?
Yeah.
Malone bemoaned the effort. Malone. And if you
Malone
could,
bemoaned.
Malone bemoan.
and
Malone
bemoan the fact that there even had to be a discussion about the effort. And I would say that was the sort of theme of Malone's whole availability. Was just like, this is a playoff game. We shouldn't have to talk about this. Hopefully it serves as a wake-up call for the players, for the starters specifically, he said. And he insisted that this was not a schematic thing, a game plan, a strategy deal. It was the effort. Denver got out-hustled tonight from the jump. And he also insisted that we don't label this a rant from Michael Malone. Quote, these are just facts, end quote.
Anti-rant.
He was not a rant. He did not rant in the postgame.
Make sure you get that right,
The
guys.
funny thing about it is he's 100% right. Did you lose something in your purse? What is it?
I did, yeah.
What is it?
I was just.
My cell phone,
What's
actually.
happening?
With
What
all
is
my
it you do?
notes.
Oh, because you
That's
need
a
your
cell phone
notes?
pouch?
Go ahead and just cover for me here, Def, while you talk for a second.
So Malone also just spoke a little bit about the fact that Nuggets really need to bounce back. They need to be better in this type of thing.
You can just make it up as you go.
Also, we have a guy up here. He flew all the way in from L.A.
Is that right? Holy shit.
He drove from
in
L.A. for the show. He has on the most amazing Nuggets shorts. I met him in the bathroom. Very awkward.
That's where you meet
That's where
people.
you met him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just like,
You guys
I
sharing
know
a
this
piece
is
of-
awkward, but... And I'm like, all right.
Oh,
He's now taking a shot of Rakia.
one last one from Malone. He said, Matt Moore asked him.
Wow, best review ever.
Matt Moore asked Malone if he thinks, the sort of 3-1 comeback mentality bled into this in a negative way. And Malone said, we've never been up 2-1 in a series. And he said, I think as evidenced by sort of joking, I think as evidenced by our performance tonight, we're much more comfortable when we're down. Michael Malone,
Sucks.
so
sorry,
bad.
Jermichael Green said, I asked him if the issue is energy and effort, is there anything that needs to be said between players in between games? And he said, no, it was all said during the game. They set the tone first. That's how they won the game tonight. Quote, we got to fight. The next 2 to 3 games are going to be real. They're going to come out hard. It's going to be a dogfight. Someone asked him if he thinks all of his teammates feel the same way about the effort, all saw the same thing. Jermichael said, quote, we should. If they don't, I'll tell them.
One guy I know is super pissed about tonight's game, Jermichael Green.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a guy who's into blowing leads in series, I think. He's had enough of that. He also said, quote, this is a team you can't play around with. This is a team that you got to put away. And obviously they dropped
Missed
that ball
opportunity.
tonight.
Yeah.
We also heard from Jokic, who said, if that was the case, the 3-1 mentality thing, it can't be the case. Quote, we cannot be satisfied. We cannot play easy. We cannot have a relaxed mentality. Defensive reporter again tonight says it was not just Mike. We all shot the ball poorly. He said they were really into them defensively, physically, all night long.
Yeah.
I asked Jokic about his struggles, and I said, it kind of looked like you were gassed. And I said, is that accurate? Is that fair? And he said, no. Give Nurkic credit. He played amazing defense and insisted on that. On playing better with backs against the wall, I don't know. Maybe we are a little more relaxed when we are up. I guess it does seem like we play better like that. So not much, guys. Not a lot of meat on the bone. Just a
How
lot
was
of.
Yoke? I mean, like, what was his? I mean, because here's how we talked about the post game. We thought this was a very bad Jokic game.
Well, it was. Yeah, it sure was. He was okay. I mean, it was no different really that he's been in the wins. Like I said, not cracking a lot of jokes right now. All business.
Yeah, he's been very low energy.
But he's also, I think, he's not getting too up or too down.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he copped to everything tonight, right? That he didn't play well. Nurkic defended him well. That, the team effort wasn't there. But I do think one thing Jokic is really, really good at is like, all right, we'll just turn this page and we'll get another chance in a couple of days and we'll see how that goes. Whereas I think maybe more personality type wise, like Malone, also, and as a coach, kind of maybe stews on this a little longer.
Yeah. You personally, so one of the things we talked about tonight was just Michael Porter. I mean, 3 points tonight.
Yeah, only 3 shots, right?
Was he asked about, I mean, was anybody asked about this and Michael Porter specifically? I mean, we counted on him to be the number 2 scorer. And
Yeah,
it's going the wrong direction.
everyone was sort of asked about it, and, you know, it was all sort of danced around, just like it wasn't just Mike. He's got to be better, but we all got to be better. So they certainly didn't take any invitation to pile on, but it was asked about.
Okay.
Just not really talked about a whole lot. I mean, look, yeah, he only got 3 shots off tonight. And that's, like, I already started the grades. He's going to get an F. And it's harsh. And I would love to, like, you know, you grade the game that just happened. I'm not saying he can't have a good series, but we don't have to pretend he played well today. The moment swallowed him up. The moment swallowed him up. I thought he looked, to be frank, a little sad on the court, like bummed out.
Yeah.
And look, he's young, has yet to have a full off season, really just like 1 full season, or 2 seasons now, I guess, under his belt. But he's got to be better. Got to be better in Game 5.
Is there anything about Austin Rivers' hip or ass?
No, nothing was asked, and that would have been a good question, because was he bleeding?
He
from
was
the hip
bleeding, yeah.
Yeah, right hip. I saw him fall a couple times. Nothing was discussed there.
All right. Well, that'll wrap it up for today, guys, and it'll wrap it up for the weekend. I think we're not back. Monday will probably be the next show we have back, Monday at 1 o'clock. But tough one for the Nuggets. I will say, I look forward to the day, should it ever come, where the Nuggets just give us an easy first round, man. Like a playoffs that's just a party. It's a block party the whole time. Does not appear it's going to be this one, but there's still time for Denver to win in 6, win in 7.
Yeah.
Either case, there's still hope.
All our series predictions still on the table.
All of them still on the table. Hit that like button on the way out. Do we have something? We got.
Here, come wave.
Have you been in the chat?
Come wave.
Dev, get up. Actually, let's give him a segment here.
Oh, come on.
Vowels are
overrated.
And Nuggets in 6.
Nuggets in 6! Hell yeah, he came in hot. A fellow tall, by the way. All right, everybody, hit that like button on the way out. We'll see ya.
Enjoy your weekend.